Hey, how's it going guys? Ancient Rin here, back with another Borderlands 3 build video, and today I'll be going over my Unweave The Rainbow Amara build called Eternal Frost.
The Iceman cometh!
This is a gun build focusing on freezing enemies for the Unweave The Rainbow bonus. This bonus element gets times 31 Mayhem scaling, so it is incredibly strong. Unfortunately, you can't really freeze bosses, so you can't benefit from Unweave The Rainbow, so we take other options for bossing specifically. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. The save file will be found in my Discord, which is linked down below, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Alright, and for the gear here, you can basically use any splash weapon. If you can cryo is really nice, but you don't have to. I've used this with and without cryo weapons. I prefer to collect it with cryo weapons to have more uptime on Unweave The Rainbow. Now I really like Malawan weapons just because they're really good. Here first we have the beacon. This is really good just because it has high cryo efficiency and it's really good damage. And so for this, it is better than say like the Free Radical and probably even the Herald just because of the freezing efficiency. So beacon is what I like to use a lot. Now for these guns, I like to use kill stack, but you can also use consecutive hits. I use kill stacks mainly for the reload speed, as reload speed's just really nice and becomes more DPS. So that's why I go with there, but it does mean a little bit more build up to your damage. I also really like the flipper. It shoots a lot of projectiles and has some pretty good cryo efficiency, so I really like it there. The projectiles are really nice for indiscriminate as well, so it's super fun. And then I have a recursion just because it bouncing around is really nice and cool. I like to have ×1 for the higher base damage and better ammo consumption. Then we just have a bunch of other stuff like the prompt critical, the Chaosin, the soul render is really strong with the skulls. Sandhawk is extremely good. I use it in semi-auto so it doesn't consume as much ammo. The rebound, the anarchy, the Kibsworth, Trevinator, Herald's really good, but because of heavy rain you do have to stand back a bit more because the faster projectiles means it doesn't split up as much at the usual distance you'd be at. Boomsicle is pretty nice. Free Radical is insane with this, but then you can't freeze enemies on your own and you rely purely on Frozen Heart. Guardian Angel is a lot of fun on this because the projectiles are splashed. You can grasp an enemy, activate Frozen Heart, that Frozen Heart gets Guardian Angel bonus, and then you can shoot an enemy, and that enemy, when you're shooting, will also get the Guardian Angel bonus from you shooting. So it's just really fun altogether. I have another beacon here. This is with phase cast. I got an Insider, more recursions. Plasma Coil is really good, and so is the Boogeyman. There are definitely more splash guns out there you can use. These are just ones I enjoyed. And then I just have an EMP5 for movement speed since I don't really have much for movement out of combat. So I like having this here. And then I go the Frozen Heart. This is to instantly freeze enemies. This doesn't work on bosses, unfortunately, besides some stuff with Wotan. So this is really good for full uptime, and it has a huge radius, and it also heals you, which can be nice. You want action skill start, so it'll break, and then every single time Eternal Fist activates, it will activate action skill start again. So it is just constant novas. You can also use the while phase grass is active. Amara constantly triggers novas. This will inherit the Frozen Heart's instant freezing, but it will not take the Frozen Heart's radius. So you'll have a smaller radius, but constant freezing, which is really cool. I've ended up preferring just the bigger radius, but both are super fun to mess with, and it gives a reason to use this anointment too. And then we have an It's Piss. This is for the debuff, and then also you want the AC Red. Now this is for red explosions. Red explosions are super important for mobbing. And then for other stuff, you can use other ASC matching elements. This is mainly for bossing, just to help improve Amara's bossing damage. Other stuff you could use is a Mesmer to get aggro relief off you, but I pretty much just use Piss as my survivability is pretty good. And then we use the Phase Zerker. Phase Zerker is just really good because it gives weapon damage, action skill cooldown rate. It gives action skill damage and better status effect chance from building up these stacks with rush stacks. So it's just really good in general, like all around best Maricom with some situational different stuff. So this is just insanely good. Clarity are the points you want to get, but in the end it doesn't matter, and you purely want to focus passes. The passes you want to focus on are splash damage radius. This is for the Frozen Heart, and then also red explosions, and then weapon type damage. This is SMG damage, assault rifle, heavy weapon, any of that stuff, because that is V2 damage, so it's very nice to have. And then weapon damage can also be nice. We do have a good amount of gun damage, but more is always better depending on the gear you have. I like having weapon charge speed just for quality of life, but definitely not needed. So just the first two passives of splash damage radius or weapon type damage / weapon damage. I have a couple things here. You can also go crit damage, manufacturer type crit damage. You can get splash damage, but that won't boost Unweave the Rainbow since it is a bonus element. It procs from splash weapons, but it does not become a splash bonus element. Splash damage will only help you, which can be good for bossing since we aren't focusing on Unweave the Rainbow, but just keep that in mind. And here I like to go Company Man. This will give us fire rate, crit damage, gun damage, and really good passive. So this is what I go to. You can also use an Icebreaker. Ideally you want to go Victory Rush. Icebreaker means better freezing, which ideally is good, but you have less fire rate, but it ends up kind of evening out. But I prefer the Company Man, just mainly because of the fire rate and the gun damage, and then the crit damage really good. Just all of them are really good on Amara, especially with the weird skill tree setup we have. And then you focus on passives are area of effect damage in the second or third slot. In the Company Man, it does not matter which slot it's in, because in the passive stuff, it all counts as secondary passive, so it'll always give that hidden area of effect radius. And then you want to look out for mag size. Mag size is just really good. And then you can get access skill cooldown rate, elemental damage. On Icebreaker, you can get pistol damage or any other weapon type damage. The Icebreaker, while frozen, gives V2 damage, which is good, but we also do have a bunch of other V2 damage from pistol damage, like the weapon type damage, personal space, but it is still good nonetheless. You'll see here I have a bunch of different stuff here, all really good. I don't know how I'd prioritize the base stats, probably fire rate and then maybe gun damage or crit damage. Company Man farms suck. You can also get a Pearl as like a base starter, just because Pearl in general is good. It doesn't do anything specific, it's just good in general. And then for bossing, what you're gonna do is get probably a consecutive hits weapon, since we won't always be having kills for kill stack. And then you're going to want to swap to a Revolter. Any Revolter, any parts work as long as it has access to start. We use this for the bonus element. Also, most important, the fire rate. The fire rate is huge. And then you'll want to swap to something. Let's say we're going against Wotan or Corrosive here. AC 50 with the Revolter. And then you can stick to Phase Grasp. Phase Grasp immune damage will apply to Late Bear, which we do use here, so that'll give a good debuff. And then you just go from there. I did mess with Phase Cast stuff for the high weapon damage, but Phase Cast has a super high cooldown, and we don't have enough cooldown rate to accurately benefit from it. So just getting kill stack or consecutive hits for bossing is really good. I still just use kill stack and do fine, but to min max you'd want to go something different, and you'd want to match element to your guns usually, or to the shield bar. For the skill tree, we're going to first start off with the purple tree, as this is based around Unweave the Rainbow, which is a purple tree skill, which is insane. It is super strong, and it's got some cool stuff down here with Clear in mind. But first we'll start up top. We have Trust in Yourself. We'll be breaking our shield on our own with action skill start, so we'll gain 1 stack. We won't usually get the second stack, so we just get the 1 stack, which is still really good. 20% reload speed, 40% charge speed, and 80% weapon swap speed is all insanely good. Then we have Heavy Rain for splash damage and weapon projectile speed, mainly for the projectile speed, since splash damage doesn't boost Unweave the Rainbow, but it'll still boost our guns, which will boost the base damage of Unweave the Rainbow. And then we have Unweave the Rainbow for the ×31 bonus element. It gets 31% of your damage dealt, but it's still really good because it gets that boost. multiplying this by times 31 means it's far better than the 33%. Then we go with the flow. This is for the movement speed and weapon damage. What I can tell, this is like partially freezing an enemy. It doesn't have to be fully frozen. Just getting that cryo effect on them will activate this, which is really good. Then we go burns with both ends. When enemies attack you, you gain elemental damage increase, which is just really good. We go to free the soul. This is kind of like Remnant Orb, a double dipping thing with cryo stuff, so it is really nice. And then we go increase skill damage to help boost Unweave the Rainbow, since it counts as an action skill. And then we have Clear the Mind. It's a kill skill. After killing an enemy, Amara ignores elemental damage resistance for a short time. Does not affect elemental immunity. So this is really good against, like, let's say we're using cryo against a flesh bar or a shield bar. Then it'll just kind of be even. Now, matching elements is still better, but this doesn't hurt you for not matching elements. So that's really nice. And it does some stuff to where you can freeze Wotan, where it normally is resistant to cryo and can't be frozen. And then we'll go the red tree. This is like you always go down for gun stuff. We go steady hands for the weapon handling accuracy. We go infusion. Now this does convert part of our damage, so it's like 40% is separate non-splash damage, while the other 60% is that splash damage that will benefit from the Unweave the Rainbow. So you would think you'd want to take out infusion, but it's still really good, and this is purely for bossing. Bossing very important. Amara can sometimes lack in single target damage. This is really good to focus on, so having this is really good. And then we have elemental damage, just damage boost, so elemental damage is really good. And then this is mainly a double point, is wildfire, spreading status effect. It could spread like radiation status effect or stuff. I don't know how it does it with cryo stuff, but I know it's just good, but it's mainly a double point, so it doesn't even matter. And then we go dread, gain increased gun damage when an enemy is grasped. And you get reloaded from an enemy that it is killed that is grasped. And then deep whale, elemental guns gain increased mag size. We're using elemental guns, so it's all good. Indiscriminate's really good. It's like action skill damage that ricochets. And then we have sustainment for lifesteal. Only ever need 1 point. Really good, easy lifesteal to get. And then we'll go blue tree. We go all the way down to laid bare, but we'll start down here. We have do harm for the action skill damage. This is to boost the damage of Unweave the Rainbow. Then we have violent tapestry, which gives status effect chance, which in turn helps cryo efficiency, which means increased chance to freeze enemies. Cryo efficiency is really weird, and I'll have like a document or something, a resource that explains all cryo efficiency stuff. To kind of help it all make sense, because it's really weird. And then we have 1 point going into fast hands. This is mainly going down this tree, but is the best thing out of all of these. Relentless sucks, and then you get some real speed from alacrity, but you also get more stuff in fast hands, so we go that 1 point. Then we go transcend for this crit damage. It's really good for bossing when you can't crit, and just good in general. Ascended boost the expedite cooldown, and then laid bare for the debuff, which is used for bossing for enemies that can't be grasped, so they get that grasp damage. And the action skill we go is the Eternal Fist. This is what I explained earlier. Whenever you grasp an enemy, it'll be locked in place. Activate the action skill stuff, and then after it's killed, the new fist seeks up an enemy and grasps a new target up to 4 times. And it looks like it'll like start from where you are, not where the enemy is killed. So you'll want to be near an enemy after you kill one. So this will be action skill end after an enemy is killed, and it goes for a new target. And then it'll also be action skill start for when an enemy is up, and then it'll be action skill active when Eternal Fist is grasping an enemy. So it's action skill active, action skill start, and action skill end, kind of technically all at the same time. And then we have green tree here. This is basically to unlock White Tiger for corrosive for bossing, but we go personal space. We definitely want for the V2 damage, and then we have 2 points in clarity for the health regen, which is nice, which is just better than max health. I like to go the cryo element. This is mainly for infusion. because it does the element of your action skill element. So that'll help with freezing, and then expedite for the cooldown, because Unweave the Rainbow counts as an action skill. Killing an enemy from Unweave the Rainbow will give an expedite stack. And then for the action skill element, for bossing, you just kind of element match with whatever. It depends on how good your damage is as well. You may be able to keep cold hearted, you might not be able to. I hope you guys enjoyed the build video. Unweave the Rainbow is super cool, and Frozen Heart makes it super easy. So does Amara's ability to have high cryo efficiency. It's super fun mobbing and a great time. I wish the bossing could be more with Unweave the Rainbow, but you take what you can get. Again, you can find the save file in my Discord, which is linked down below, as well as my other socials. If you haven't, I would really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.